Yo, 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 what's good, y'all? We back again with another video. This time we're gonna watch the homie WrestleMania. Always great insight with wrestling news. Just coming off a hot Money in the Bank with a whole bunch of stuff. John Cena announcing his retirement. I mean, Cody taking the pin. You never see people like that. You know what I mean? You never see people taking the pin. So let's check the homie out right now, and don't forget to give WrestleMania a subscribe, y'all.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Our Money in the Bank is finally here, and as fans know, its ladder matches can be game changers. However, there's plenty of other high stake matches, including a World Heavyweight Championship match, an Intercontinental Championship match, and what seems to be a wild six-man brawl. But how did it go down? Was this show really Money in the Bank or money down the toilet? Join us now as we recap the show and provide the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. But before we get into that, we have a quick
Yo, I'm still shocked over John Cena really retiring because you knew it was real when ESPN reported it. So I'm shocked still with John Cena retiring. Oh man, CM Punk. Oh, we got a summer ahead of us.
recap of the show. As first we start off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match as Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Chad Gable, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, and Andrade all do battle for the briefcase. That's a breathtaking bout as the
Car
WWE
crash,
dials
yo.
up the
Straight
tension as
car
it looks like
crash.
everyone involved will at one point win that coveted briefcase. But finally, Jey Uso climbs up to the top only for Drew McIntyre to throw a ladder at him, knocking the Yeet out of main event Jey. McIntyre secures the briefcase to become Mr. Money in the Bank of 2024.
Oh
Next up is the
boy.
Intercontinental Championship match as champion Sami Zayn takes on Braun Breaker. It's a rough night for Sami as Braun goes into blitzkrieg mode, steamrolling over Sami. However, Braun sometimes gets reckless, allowing Sami to get in some powerful offense. Braun goes for the spear only
Yeah,
to
there
eat a
was
boot,
there was some
Helluva Kick, and
good
Sami
moves on
stuns
that in
Braun,
that match.
getting the pinfall win as Sami retains the Intercontinental Championship.
And real quick, guys, did a dope, fun live. You know what I mean? It was like actually my first live. No, my second live after the SmackDown. Man, that thing, the whole thing got corrupted. It was so many blocks and copyrights and all type of stuff. Man, I guess I had the volume too loud. So hey, you live and you learn.
And your Money in the Bank host Trish Stratus shows up and making nice with the crowd before introducing John Cena. Yes, Cena returns and greets the fans, but then he has a major announcement. He announces that he is retiring from WWE, so that
Shocked.
2025 will be the John Cena retirement tour. But then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match as champion Damian Priest takes on Seth Rollins. If Priest wins, Rollins can never challenge for the title as long as Priest is a champion. But if Priest loses, he must leave the Judgment Day. Seth Rollins seems to have the edge thanks to his experience, but it's hard to be certain. But that is until Drew McIntyre shows up,
Wow.
cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. So now this match turns into a triple threat match. Drew McIntyre is quick to pounce, going straight after Priest. But things aren't easy as Drew thinks as Damian fights back. But then out of nowhere, CM Punk runs in, attacking
I
Drew.
mean,
Punk
the place,
savages Drew
the
outside the
roof
ring with
blew.
chairs and a cable as McIntyre tries to escape. But meanwhile, Rollins is on the outside ring recovering from Priest while Priest tries to regroup. Punk grabs the title, blasting Drew with it and making things easy for Damian Priest, who then covers him to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, Seth Rollins is recovered and he's none too pleased with Punk. Corey Graves, who is friends with Rollins, gets Seth to calm down, well, for now. Next up is the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I thought for a minute I forgot about the CM Punk Seth Rollins beef, but then I quickly thought about it and I was like, oh shit, this is deeper than rap right here, y'all. So
Match as Tiffany Stratton, Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Stark all do battle for the women's briefcase. Now, this is one of the most brutal ladder matches in recent
yeah,
memory,
this
as
was
everyone shows
this was a car
110%
crash.
dedication
I was
to winning
surprised
the
straight up.
briefcase. Now, this one is all over the place, but in a good way, as the competitors hold nothing back. Finally, Chelsea Green uses a gift for exploiting every opportunity and climbs a ladder, even though she's afraid of heights, but then gets taken out in the worst way possible.
Yeah, she
However,
took a real
Chelsea's win is
Dudley
then
bump.
spoiled by Tiffany Stratton, who knocks her off the ladder, sending her through some tables onto the floor. It's Tiffy time as Stratton secures the briefcase and becomes Ms. Money in the Bank of 2024. And finally, it's time for the main event as the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton take on the bloodline of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu with Tonga Loa. Now, the babyfaces start off strong, but that is until Jacob Fatu tags in and demolishes Randy Orton. The Bloodline are in complete
It's a good
control.
match.
The babyfaces rally, but as often happens with the Bloodline, the referee gets knocked out in the melee. The babyfaces rally, but there's no beating the numbers game as Tongaloa's presence turns the tide. Jacob Fatu holds Cody while Solo delivers a spike just in time for the referee to make the 3 count as the Bloodline close out Money in the Bank as the winners. But that was a quick recap
And
of the show about the good, the bad, and the downright
Cody took the
ugly.
pin too.
As number 1, a memorable.
That was still shocking to me that Cody laid down. You know, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of champions, a lot of quote unquote veterans, they wouldn't take the pin. You know what I mean? So respect to Cody for that one.
Men's ladder match. Is the Money in the Bank concept played out? Well, Damian Priest seemed to redeem it this year with a great cash in, but what of the match itself? Well, for some fans, there's nothing new that can be done with ladder matches, but they may be thinking otherwise after tonight's men's ladder match. There were the usual predictable spots with people being knocked off the ladder, submission holds applied onto the ladder and such. However, Drew McIntyre spiced things up with using a ladder as a javelin to take out Jey Uso.
Yeah,
Best of all, it looked like no
right
one
in his
got
face.
hurt.
It was
Always
crazy.
a delicate situation with these matches. The wrestlers took some great bumps, but tended to avoid the sick variation, making for an enjoyable match. Like any stipulation match that's been around for a while, it's a matter of wrestlers finding new ways to inject fresh blood into a match, and that's exactly what fans got tonight. Number 2, the deadlier of the species. It's been said to be careful who you step on during your way up the ladder, but that wasn't the case tonight, as the WWE's women's match was a diagram of destruction.
They showed
The women's
out.
ladder match also saw its competitors upstage the men once again. As good as the men's match was with its cleverly coordinated spots, the women made it clear that this was a no-holds-barred outright war. This was a classic case of no quarter ass, and none were given, as wrestlers were flying off and through ladders, wrestlers sent flying through tables, and everyone received and dished out a huge beatdown. The women's division has improved, at least in the WWE, where fans don't have to be reminded how talented the women's division is. Instead, they can judge a match on its merits and ignore qualifying it as a good for a women's match. Number 3, blurring the lines. Tonight's show featured 2 excellent examples of how to use a fan's knowledge of the wrestler's real-life past and incorporate it into storylines. As some fans know, Jacob Fatu has a criminal record when he was younger, and this makes it difficult for Fatu to get into Canada due to the country's restrictions on convicted felons. However, the WWE worked around this by noting Fatu is so violent that the WWE had to pull strings to get him into the country. Another way the WWE worked reality into a storyline is when it had Corey Graves keep Seth Rollins from attacking CM Punk after Punk indirectly cost Rollins his title match and any future chances as long as Priest is champion. Michael Cole mentioned that Punk and Rollins' friendship, which helped explain why Rollins didn't deck Graves to get at Punk. Now, fans are much more educated, and when angles like this are done right, they can add depth to the show. Number 4, Trish gives the rub. A kudos to Trish Stratus, who continues to use her star power to give back to the WWE's active talent. Stratus did so last year when she feuded with Becky Lynch and gave Zoe Stark some time in the spotlight, and she did it again tonight, giving Tiffany Stratton a wake-up call and possibly setting the stage for a match down the road. Number 5, a hot crowd. The WWE Universe
Always, international crowds are always good.
The WWE's been upping its game in terms of storytelling and in-ring action. Tonight's crowd in Toronto were loud and involved in every match. While part of this is due to how hot the show was, fans have seen other PLEs where the matches rocked, but the crowd sat on their hands. Not tonight, and hopefully this trend continues. Number 6, Cena says goodbye. John Cena's announcement that 2025 will mark the end of his career was a major announcement that stunned fans and also reminded them why it's important to tune into PLEs, as you never know what to expect. Cena's speech was also well played, as he didn't distract from the show and helped calm the fans in between matches to get them ready for another roller coaster ride. Number 7, Jacob Fatu's destructive debut. The WWE certainly knows how to make wrestlers look good when it wants to, and we haven't seen a wrestler debut with so much carnage since Umaga, which is likely no coincidence given Jacob Fatu being Umaga's nephew. The WWE protected Jacob to make him a monster, but just gave him the right amount of vulnerability where babyfaces had their hope spots. Number 8, a monumental main event. A predictable but solid main event. Speaking of callbacks, fans would have to go back to the early days of this Shield to recall a trio being so dominant against veteran superstars. The Bloodline's opponents were 3 of the WWE's best, and yet they couldn't get the job done against the young upstarts. Granted, the Bloodline had help from Tongaloa, who even managed to botch a low blow, but things looked bad for the babyfaces, even without Tonga's interference. And Chelsea Green's brutal bump. And Money in the Bank featured some big bumps, but nothing like Chelsea Green falling off a ladder and crashing through tables in a spot that seemed like a flashback to the 90s ECW. Green came up short tonight, but she proved that she's invested in putting on one of the best matches possible, while also crushing it with a Karen gimmick. The crowd were incredibly behind her, and we hope that she gets a much deserved push. That was good. What about the bad? As a questionable call. There wasn't much to complain about last night. However, the WWE's decision to have Drew McIntyre win the Money in the Bank briefcase and fail at successfully cashing it
I didn't
in
like it.
is one certain to have fans talking for the next few weeks, if not months. However, there is some good reason behind it, something that we'll explain in the next video. Number 2, another 3 count crisis. The WWE needs
Oh,
to have a
this
talk
was
with its officials, as
brutal.
tonight
This
featured
was
another title
brutal.
match where there was an obvious mistake that affected a major match. Right before Drew McIntyre's music played, fans watched what looked like a 3 count from the referee during the Damien vs Seth match, a 3 count which should have ended the match. As fans know that there was a big blunder at King of the Ring when the referee counted 3 on Randy Orton, despite one of the Viper's shoulders being up. Now you may disagree, but I don't think there was anything downright ugly, even though the waste of the Money in the Bank briefcase does come slightly close. The WWE connected the dots and produced a fairly decent PLE. And while some fans are disappointed that Roman Reigns didn't return, or Jimmy Uso for that matter, Cody got pinned, Cena announced his retirement, and even if AJ Lee didn't make her return, the reality is that WWE has its reasons and fans will likely be happy as things unfold. But there you have it, folks, our look at Money in the Bank. What did you guys think of the PLE? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Yeah, man, it was a great, great pay per view. I still call them pay per view, so you know what I mean. It was a great PLE, man. I give it solid 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? 8.5 out of 10. Matter of fact, all the matches hit hard. The ladder matches went nuts. Like I said, I don't want to say I get tired, but I'm jaded to the ladder matches. You know what I mean? So when they pull out new stuff, it really I like it a lot. You know what I mean? And the main event, like I said, I was surprised Cody took the pin, but hey, he's a professional. You already know. But all right, y'all, man. Like I said, go give WrestleMania a follow, and don't forget to give your boy a follow, man. So holla at me. Until the next time. Peace.